fascinating thing. Like I try and avoid that kind of thinking because I'll see a game and I know that with D&D, you start playing it and then that's your world. And you'll go home after the game. And the game doesn't end. You're still running through sequences in your head, and my brain already works that way. And I was like, okay, I've got to cordon that off because I need that energy to actually.
I know. I've tried to recruit you to run a game before, and
I would love to. I really appreciate the offer. I think I'd be very good at it, and I'd really enjoy it. But it's also that's who I would become.
Right. You told me that you need that energy for you. You write that down, and that's your business. So.
So, but I don't. What's your take on why that's so fast? Like, why do people love games? Like,
different people like games for different reasons. I like games for interesting choices. I want to have interesting choices. I want to see how they come out. I want to figure it out. A lot of people like the social aspect. There's one game. If I'd known we were going to talk about games so much, maybe I would have brought some in. But there's a game called Splendor.
Oh, I've played that one a few times. I like that one a lot, actually.
And I think I could write an algorithm with 2 rules and play that game for me. I wouldn't even have to be there. So the choices aren't really that interesting because I already know how I'm going to make the choices each time. But it's very tactile and very pleasant, and it's a fun game to play because of, there's little tokens which represent gems that you're always picking up and putting down. And that game is a nice, smooth, simple, very tactile game and quite enjoyable that way. So
I don't spend a lot of time focusing on it, but I do like to keep tabs on what other entertainment industries are doing. And Splendor is one of those ones where I'm like, this might be a perfect game, or it might, because it's like gotten so many parts right. I mean, they've taken the tactile feel of the pieces as that's an important component. Like when you pick them up, you're going, oh, I feel like I'm holding money.
Yeah.
And if they were just lighter, crappy poker chips.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not the light, crappy poker chips. They're not even the heavy poker chips. They're even bigger than that, and they're probably not clay. They might be clay, but they're a heavy-duty plastic, and they're well manufactured. And whoever marketed that and built it understood, look, this is our game here. We want people picking these things up and moving them around, so they have to be pleasant to pick up and move around.
The other thing I really liked about it is that I could sit down with a guy like Dwayne, who's like he's a computer engineer, electrical engineer. He's a thinker. He's the guy who
optimizes. He
doesn't need that 2-rule algorithm. He'll win it anyway.
You can beat Dwayne with your 2-rule algorithm. He's playing it the same.
You could. Like Donna and I would sit down and just like, she's gotten much better because she will play it a lot. I'll sit down and go, okay, I know I'm going to lose. But the other element of that game that I like a lot is that there's a story element, or one it doesn't tell a story, but there's enough pieces that I'm going, you could write Game of Thrones out of this thing.
Yeah,
you get 6 seasons out of this game.
The story is there. You're collecting gems. In the first round of gems, you have the mines, and there's each little card. So the way you play the game is you collect gems of 5 colors. And once you have enough gems, and the gems are these poker chips we were talking about, that you collect them and you put them in front of you. And once you have enough gems, you spend these gems, these poker chips, back to the bank and get a card. And the card lets you produce a gem of a specific color. So you don't have to. You have it available to buy the next card. So it's an engine building machine. You take chips, use them to buy cards. Cards are chips that you could buy other cards with, and they're available every time. Anyway, on the cards, the first level are printed mines. So the first thing you do is you get a mine, and then the next level of cards is trade routes. So there's a boat, or there's a picture of camels wandering across the desert. And then the third level of gems are jewelers. So you'll see a picture of a jeweler, or you'll see a picture of Goldsmith Alley or something like this on them. So, and that's one of the reason I'm bringing this up is that's one of the other reasons people play games. Not me as much, but a lot of people play the games for the story. And even a simple little game like Splendor, they did a really good job with the story.
First, you have characters in it, right?
There's nobles. Once you have enough gems and gem production, you can bribe a noble, and then he's on your side, I guess. So So if you look carefully and you're interested in it, you can find the story there, and it's one that's really well done. First, you're starting up, you get a mine, you travel these gems across the desert, and then you turn them into jewels, and you bribe your nobles with them. And
But I have like story engine maximized in my head, right? So I'll see like that picture of the camels going across the desert, and I think, okay, you're like a 22-year-old, and your father was a king, but your empire's fading, and there's this old mine in the jungle there that was left to you, and you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe I can make something out of this. And he said, oh, sir, we found something. I'm hearing all the dialogue, and then it's like, well, okay, we have our first bag. We got to put them on the camels. Well, aren't there bandits in the desert? Well, that's a risk we have to take. We'll hire. I know. And I can just sort of see this whole thing, and so now I get invested in this guy's story, and I want him to succeed, even though the game mechanic might be, well, tactically, you need to sell all that. What? Sell the family here? No. Just
yeah.
And then you can then those nobles. It's like, oh, there's that wrinkly old guy with the fake wig, and
we need it. We need him on my side.
We need him on my side, but like, oh, but then there's the Duchess. She's pretty,
Yeah.
And so, and I can just see this whole thing, and so that's how I tend to play. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to win this as well, right? But and then you've got a guy like Dwayne, who's just like it's like the matrix lifts, and he just sees the numbers, right? And he can just maximize according to that.
Yeah.
But then the other element of the game too, it's the social side. You're playing with your friends.
Yeah.